The Rock Hill Sports and Event Center in Rock Hill, South Carolina, the home of the 2025 South Atlantic Conference Basketball Tournament. A week-long journey to crowning a champion starts today as the #1 seed and regular season champions Lincoln Memorial matches up with the 8th-seeded Wingate Bulldogs. Glad to have you alongside here from the Rock Hill Sports and Event Center. He's Tyler Katz. I'm Andrew Rogers here on Flow Sports. Tyler, always an exciting time once March basketball comes around, and it starts when you've got the regular season champs against the 8th-seeded Wingate Bulldogs here in our first matchup.
Yeah, well, it's the 1-8. Anyone can win it. Wingate took down this very good Lincoln Memorial side in Wingate earlier in January. This is a tournament that's wide open and really looking forward to this week.
There's some really good players in this matchup. We'll start with Lincoln Memorial's Wes Enos.
Yeah, Wes Enos, one of the best players in the South Atlantic Conference. You talk about player of the year in the SAC. Enos is really a guy you're going to look forward to seeing him on the court. If you're Wingate, it's almost like you can't get away from him. And meanwhile, on the other side, you take a look at Wingate. You talk about Kendall Taylor. This is a guy who was a big reason why Wingate was able to take down LMU back in January. Taylor's been the lifeblood of this Wingate team, and he's really going to need to step up today in order to see the Bulldogs come out on top.
You look at these two players individually, the top two scorers in the South Atlantic Conference, led by Taylor's 24.5 points per game. On average, he's on pace to have the 4th highest scoring average in a South Atlantic Conference regular season. Enos just as good with that efficiency and 87 threes. We'll break for the national anthem, starting lineups, and tip-off from the South Atlantic Conference basketball tournament here in Rock Hill. Head your way after this on Flow Sports.
If you want to win in every arena of college life, go D2. Make it yours.
Sure, we've been around a while, 171 years to be exact. We know the power of a liberal arts-based Christian education and the tremendous potential of what can be found on this campus, within this community. We are adventurers, dreamers, believers, passionate and compassionate, curious and clever, driven by a common purpose towards a common goal.
I found my passion.
I found purpose.
We are Carson-Newman.
What will you find?
Andrew Rogers and Tyler Katz, glad to welcome you back to the Rock Hill Sports and Event Center as we take a look at our conference tournament bracket. Tyler, of course, there's the Lincoln Memorial Wingate matchup. 3, 4, and 5 in this bracket. We're all tied at the end of the regular season. What stands out when you look at this 8-team field?
I mean, all 4 of these games are extremely fun. We talk about Wingate was able to upset Lincoln Memorial earlier this year. An Anderson team who's lost twice to LR, but both by single digits. Carson-Newman split with UVA Wise and a really intriguing matchup in the 3-6 with Coker and Catawba. You talk about this bracket. Every single game should excite you. There's so many storylines interweaving. I mean, this is March. This is what you get excited about, right? And this is one of the best tournaments at the Division II level, and excited to be here and watch all 4 of these games on the men's side.
It's the best time of the year, March basketball. Let's meet today's starting lineups. We'll start with Wingate, who is led by Brian Good. Bulldogs finished the regular season with 12 wins and 14 losses. In the backcourt, you've got Corbin Pack, Jordan Miller, Mike Urbeck, with Corbin Pack and Jordan Miller being double-figure scorers per game. Kendall Taylor and Aaron Hall make up the front court. When you look at this starting 5, Tyler, what stands out? Obviously, we hinted at Kendall Taylor, but some other guys will have to make plays today as well.
Yeah, well, you talk about, I keep going back to that game in January where Wingate was able to upend LMU. That was a team effort. Nobody scored more than 20 in that win against the Rail Splitters. Corbin Pack, Jordan Miller, both averaging double digits or more in a game. So this is a Wingate team who, yes, you want to give the ball to Kendall Taylor, but really you're going to need to distribute the basketball if you want to have a chance of taking down this very good LMU side.
Flip it over to the Rail Splitters, Tyler. They win 23 games in the regular season, 4 losses, 21-3 in the South Atlantic Conference this season. In the backcourt, it'll be Connor Jordan, Thomas Allard, And then, of course, Wes Enos, the 6'2", sophomore from Conover, Ohio. What stands out about that is Connor Jordan only made one start in the regular season, so he's in the backcourt to start for Jeremiah Samarippis' team. The front court consists of the freshman of the year, Elijah Freeman, and the senior, Jordan Walters. So Jordan inserts into the lineup for the second time this year.
Well, if you're the rest of the South Atlantic Conference, you're shaking in your boots when you see this LMU side. Freshman of the year, Elijah Freeman. Wes Enos, just a sophomore, as your player of the year. This is a team that's built for the future. You talk about the next 2 to 3 years in Harrogate, Tennessee, being some of the best for LMU. Enos and Freeman, if they stay with Samarippis, I'm sure they're getting a lot of calls from elsewhere, but if Samarippis is able to retain them on this LMU roster, it's going to be a very dangerous team and a very difficult team to beat in the conference for years to come.
Mentioned Freeman, 17.5 points per game. He leads LMU in rebounding at 8.3 rebounds per game. Had a season and career high 16 in that first meeting back on December 21st. Tyler hinted at these two teams splitting in the regular season. Lincoln Memorial won the first matchup on December 21st at home in Harrogate, Tennessee, 85-78. And the second game was 2 months later, 1 month later, January 25th, at Wingate, a game where the Bulldogs won 77-72.
You talk about that game where Wingate was able to win a close 5-point victory. Kendall Taylor and Corbin Pack were the leading scorers for the Bulldogs, 14 points each, so really spread across the scoring and the box score in that game.
Both teams have taken the floor. Wingate's in the visiting blue uniforms. Lincoln Memorial's got the home white on as the higher seed as we get set to tip off a week long of basketball in Rock Hill. Hall and Walters jump it up. It pinballs around. It's still loose and fighting for it. And look at this already. 2 players on the floor, but it's Wingate and Jordan Miller taking it away. Bulldogs with the first possession.
What a start to the tournament to have that much fight.
Taylor launches a quick triple. It's off to the right. Rebound tapped out to Thomas Allard, a sophomore guard. He gives off to Enos, and LMU brings it front court for the first time. Freeman fouled as he tried to split 2 defenders. Game's first foul, 25 seconds in on Aaron Hall.
Yeah, that tip-off kind of embodies what this entire tournament is about, fighting from the beginning to very end. Wingate was able to come away with that one, but that's just the stuff you love to see at the start of a tournament like this.
Baseline inbound for Connor Jordan. Tusculum transfer inbounds for Enos. Walters touches the paint, finds Jordan. Here's a baseline jump shot. He leaves it short. Backside rebound collected by Jordan Miller, a sophomore from Rock Hill, playing close to his home, where he went to Dorman High School. 3-point shot from the corner by Corbin Pack is left off the front of the iron. Rebound collected by Walters. Scoreless first 50 seconds in Rock Hill. NBA range 3 for Wes Enos, and it's off the front of the iron. No good. Hall collects the miss. Jordan Miller with the basketball, gives off to Taylor. Jordan Walters has the Kendall Taylor assignment early as Pack drives middle. Rather, Urbeck flips it up off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound Walters.
You know, Andrew, we saw a lot of teams in shoot-around as we'll get another foul here already. Aggressive play. But a lot of teams in shoot-around were having trouble with these rims. They weren't getting a lot of friendly bounces, and I wonder if we'll continue to see that as this tournament progresses.
Get Jordan Miller that time for the reach-in against Freeman. Second team foul first on Miller as LMU has possession of the front court. Down screen for Enos. He'll launch from the left wing, and he leaves it short. Both teams have combined to miss their first 6 shots. Almost 90 seconds in. No score as Miller operates for Wingate. Gives it off to Mike Urbeck, who shoots 39% from 3. They run him off the line here. Taylor with the basketball. Gives off to Pack for a left wing triple. He's got it. Corbin Pack starts the scoring. He shoots 39% from 3, and Wingate strikes first in Rock Hill.
Yeah, Pack, one of those more underrated players for Wingate. Still one of the top guys, but once you peel back that layer of Kendall Taylor, he's right there.
Enos left alone, and he'll bury that every single time. Urbeck was caught off a screen, and Enos buries a triple. Pack's 3 answered by Enos. 3 all, 2 minutes in as Taylor drives baseline against Walters. Here comes a second defender. We've got a foul by Lincoln Memorial. It's on Elijah Freeman, the freshman of the year in the South Atlantic Conference, picks up his first and LMU's first of the game.
Difficult foul for LMU to take with their young and stud freshman getting a foul this early, but it's only one.
Miller gives off to Kendall Taylor and his 24.5 points per game. He's met by a double look inside. Hall for the easy slam. Aaron Hall with his first basket. Kendall Taylor had a season-high 4 assists in that last meeting with the Rail Splitters. And he has his first there as Wingate goes back in front by a deuce. Jordan, left corner. Back out front for Enos. Allard pressured as the shot clock dips under 10. Walters fakes, drives against Taylor, and a foul inside. Brian Good and the Bulldogs bench thought Taylor was straight up and down on the drive from Jordan Walters. Instead, it's Kendall Taylor's first personal. So 3 different Bulldogs have committed 1 foul in the first 2 minutes, 50 seconds.
Well, you talk about foul trouble. It's not just individuals, right? It's a whole team. Once you get to 7, you're in that bonus. Even more dangerous, 10 in that double bonus. And have 3 team fouls in less than 3 minutes of play is really a sign that Wingate is going to need to correct, and Brian Good is going to have to tell his team, control the basketball and try to play with a little less physicality.
First free throw good for Jordan Walters. His second one also swishes in. And the game tied back at 5 points as we approach 3 minutes into this first South Atlantic Conference quarterfinal. We'll have 4 today, 2 on the men's side and 2 on the women's side in our nightcap today from Rock Hill. Miller touches the paint, kicks it out to Kendall Taylor. He loses the dribble. Walters and Taylor hit the deck. Miller is going to tie up Walters, and the possession arrow will favor Lincoln Memorial.
Excellent play there by Elijah Freeman. I mean, just throwing his body at the floor and diving for the ball. I mean, at the same time, it was a bit of a misplayed dribble, but for Freeman to have that awareness, still fresh out of high school, you got to remember, still not through his first academic year, and having the wherewithal to just throw his body towards that ball. That's what you love to see out of a young freshman.
This is a Lincoln Memorial team, the #1 scoring defense and #1 field goal percentage defense in the South Atlantic Conference in that regular season. Allard off a screen from the top of the key, buries it, and one. Thomas Allard from the top of the key for Lincoln Memorial's second triple. And plus he was fouled by Kendall Taylor. That's his second foul.
Again, you talk about foul trouble. Kendall Taylor with 2 of the 5 and already 4 fouls in less than 4 minutes to go. That's really something that Wingate is going to need to correct through the rest of this first half if they want to keep it close heading into halftime with a really tough Rail Splitters squad.
Allard makes the free throw. 4-point play completed, and Lincoln Memorial leads by 4. 6-0 burst over the last 40 seconds for the Rail Splitters. Miller dribbling at the wing. Off to Taylor. Here comes another double team off the screen. He needs help. Leaves it off for Miller. Shot clock down to 8 seconds. Miller off a screen and is fouled. That's going to be the second foul on Elijah Freeman. So 2 of our key players heading into this matchup, and Freeman and Taylor have committed 2 fouls. Freeman will exit, and in comes E.J. Smith, a freshman from Memphis, Tennessee.
Well, this will certainly make the game interesting if both get in foul trouble and have to go to the bench.
Taylor will play through his 2 fouls. Kendall Taylor only was out of the game for 1 minute in the first 2 meetings between these 2 teams. Drive baseline for Miller. He gives to Pack, back to Miller. Miller will launch from the opposite wing, left it short, and Walters taps the rebound to himself. It's his 3rd board. Transition, go the Rail Splitters. Jordan up and under. Too much English on it. Rebound, Kendall Taylor. Dogs want to run. Taylor lob. Hall couldn't catch it. It hit the backboard first, and that's Wingate's 2nd turnover. Transition. Smith touches paint. Lefty lay. Left it short. Rebound Taylor. We go the other way now. Taylor will hand off for Miller. Bulldogs 2 of 6 from the field, and now we've got a foul away from the ball. And that'll bring us to our first break. Foul on Jordan Miller. That's his 2nd personal foul. Bulldogs in foul trouble early and trailing Lincoln Memorial. It's 9-5 at our under 16 time out. We're back with more South Atlantic Conference men's basketball tournament action from Rock Hill, South Carolina after this on Flow Sports.
On campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
We welcome you back to the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center. The one-seeded regular season champions Lincoln Memorial out in front of Wingate 9-5 with 15 minutes, 36 seconds to play in the first frame. Lincoln Memorial has made the semifinals the last 3 seasons, but has failed to get to the South Atlantic Conference Championship game. They have been knocked off in the semifinals the last 3 seasons. Hoping to get back to the semis this year and maybe get back to the South Atlantic Conference Championship. Rail Splitters with the basketball out of the timeout. It's Allard. Walters rips through, goes to the basket. Taylor lets him go by, and Walters uses the glass for his first field goal. 4 points for Jordan Walters. It's an 8-0 extended run for Lincoln Memorial and a 6-point lead. Taylor playing with those 2 fouls, guarded by Walters. Out front to Hall, still the starting 5 for Wingate. Pack around his screen, stops at the free throw line, back out to Taylor. Shot clock to 8. Miller right side, crosses over with 5. Miller doubled, gives it to Urbeck. Right wing triple for Mike Urbeck is off the side of the iron and missed. Rebound, Allard. Rail Splitters want to run. Ennis, in and out dribble, leaves it off. Walters the slam, but he missed it, gets it back, tries again, no, but he's fouled. And a 6th team foul already on Wingate, and that's on Aaron Hall. So 3 Bulldogs have 2 fouls. Aaron Hall, Jordan Miller, and Kendall Taylor. Free throws for Walters and LMU.
And this is something that Brian Good, he's not having an easy job coaching right now. When your team fouls and 3 players have 2 separate fouls, it doesn't make your job easier. In fact, it makes it harder of who stays in the game, who goes out, and do you risk racking up more fouls and more points as a subsequent, because as of right now, the next foul puts LMU in the bonus.
Yep, shooting free throws the rest of the way. Still 14 and a half minutes to play in this first quarter. 13-5, it's a 9-0, or rather 10-0 burst for the Rail Splitters. Nice back cut from Pack, and he'll float it in to end a 10-0 scoring run for the Rail Splitters over the last 3 minutes. 13-7 as E.J. Smith, a guy that made 26 starts as a freshman, turns it over. Taylor, the steal, and the deuce. Bulldogs with 4 quick ones to get back within 4. Six minutes in, Allard dribbles to the right wing. Rail Splitters just 3 of 9 from the field. They've made 5 free throws, though. Of the 13 points as Smith hands off for Allard. Thought about a triple, good closeout from Pack as Walters catches, gives to Enos. Here's another NBA 3, and Enos buries it. Wes Enos with his 2nd triple, the conference's player of the year, shining early in Rock Hill. Rail Splitters by 7. Taylor has 2 points, just the 1 field goal, last possession down. Trailing his Pack, he'll drive inside, and he got fouled. Got caught in the air, but he was fouled by Lincoln Memorial's E.J. Smith. That's LMU's 3rd team foul, first on Smith.
I'll tell you what, Andrew, even when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, if you just watch Kendall Taylor and his off-ball movement, he's so fast. It's almost like the track meet that happened for the South Atlantic Conference this weekend. He's running everywhere trying to get open. He's just such a fun player to watch with or without the ball.
First Bulldog off the bench of Brian Good is Derek Bradley. He catches the ball at the right wing. Cut off going baseline, gives it to Miller. Miller pulls up from the free throw line and got fouled. That'll be 2 quick ones on E.J. Smith, the freshman from Memphis, Tennessee in the Skill Factory. Commits his 2nd personal, give Jordan Miller free throws.
You know, maybe a little bit of an Oscar-worthy performance there, selling the foul, but he still got it, and it takes him to the line.
Jordan Miller playing close to his home in Rock Hill, South Carolina. unlucky on his first free throw attempt. He shoots 78% in the regular season. Wonder what it's got to feel like to play your conference tournament right here in Rock Hill when you're from Rock Hill.
I mean, able to go home for some home cooking, maybe have a barbecue, dad on the grill making some burgers when you go home at night. But it's got to be a cool feeling, especially when you're in college, away from home for a little bit, and then get to have your family, your entire support staff with you for the biggest part of the year.
Smith will exit with his 2 fouls as Miller makes the second free throw. So LMU goes to a bigger lineup. In comes Coker transfer Mahmoud Bangura. He's number 20 in white for LMU. Enos top of the key. Comes off a Bangura screen. He rolls to the middle of the paint and he traveled. LMU's second turnover after the Wingate defense blitzed Enos. It forces an LMU turnover.
I'll tell you what, Andrew, just watching this game without looking at the scoreboard for a while, this feels like it's a blowout. It's only a 2-possession game, and I know we're talking about possession games still early in the first half, but it seems like LMU has been outplaying Wingate. That score a lot closer than it feels.
Bulldogs basketball. Just over 7 minutes into this game with the Rail Splitters by 6. Both teams have made 4 baskets, but LMU has made 3 triples. Cut inside by Pack. Met by 2. He'll fade away from the baseline. Doesn't get the roll. And Bangura has the miss. He'll bring it up the floor himself. The big man crosses over, touches paint. His pass deflected and stolen. Back-to-back turnovers from the Rail Splitters. Transition. Pack, right corner, triple. Buried it. 3-point game as Corbin Pack knocks down his second 3. He made 42 in the regular season and already has 2 here in the first half against the Rail Splitters. Walters right side. He's got a team-high 6 along with Enos's 6. He'll roll to the basket, drop the ball, though, and it's another LMU turnover. That's 3 consecutive possessions down the floor, Tyler, that Lincoln Memorial has coughed the basketball up.
Yeah, Jeremiah Samarippis obviously not happy with that. He brings out his star freshman, Elijah Freeman, off the bench to try to mitigate those mistakes on the offensive side of the ball.
Remember, Enos and Jordan Miller, or rather Miller and Kendall Taylor for Wingate, are playing with 2 fouls as well. Right side, this is the reserve Bradley. Off to Corbin Pack, hounded by Jordan. Here comes another double on Taylor. He'll leave it for Bradley. Fake it inside, skip it left wing. Miller catches, he'll fire. Swish! Back-to-back Wingate triples, and the game is tied on Jordan Miller's first field goal here at the South Atlantic Conference Tournament.
I mean, how do you leave Jordan Miller that wide open? He was in absolute no man's land, and we're almost acting like he's another fan in the stands, and we're going to guard him.
Scoring runs from both teams. Wingate's got the most recent scoring run. Back-to-back triples from Corbin Pack and Jordan Miller have knotted things up here in Rock Hill. 16 all, and we're back for more from the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center after this on Flow Sports.
Mars Hill University, helping you move your mountain.
Mars Hill University gives me plenty of degrees to choose from.
At MHU, I get the attention I deserve.
MHU keeps me close to home, and there's tons to do in the mountains.
Over 60 courses of study, small class settings, a breathtaking campus. These are just a few examples of how MHU can help you start moving your mountain. Visit us today at mhu.edu. Mars Hill University, education that moves mountains.
Andrew Rogers and Tyler Katz, glad to welcome you back to the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center in Rock Hill, South Carolina. It's the 1-8 matchup, the first of a 14-game week over the next 4 days here on Flow Sports at the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center. This is the 1-8 matchup on the men's side. Lincoln Memorial, the regular season champions, battling the 8-seeded Wingate Bulldogs, who have back-to-back wins entering the postseason. First time in several seasons that the Bulldogs have entered the South Atlantic Conference Tournament with back-to-back wins, playing well at the first two breaks. It's 16-all as LMU has the possession. Jordan, the Tusculum transfer, dribbles with his left hand out front. Gives to a trailing Enos. He's guarded by Derek Bradley. Step back from Enos from the left wing. He leaves it short. Rebound out near the free throw line, collected by Miller, his second board. Transition. Pack will pull a triple. He's got another. 3 first-half triples from Corbin Pack. Bulldogs are 4 of 8 from deep.
Incredible shooting, incredible prowess. Wingate knows what it's like to beat this LMU team. They know what it takes. And so far been fighting back from a bit of a deficit on a 10-0 run. LMU needs to find a way to stop the bleeding.
Pack's starting to feel it. He's made as many as 7 three-pointers in a game in his career. That was last season in February against Coker. Top of the key, Walters, nice give and go. One more to Jordan. He spins, stops in the paint, will fade away for a 12-footer and left it short. Shots difficult right now for the Rail Splitters, who haven't scored in 3 minutes, and LMU, or rather Wingate, is on a 10-0 run. Pack trying to extend it, in and out on the shot from Corbin Pack. Rebound, Allard. Starting 5 out there for the Rail Splitters. Enos catches at the top of the key. He'll drive against Grant, up and under, good from the left side. Wes Enos, the player of the year, with his 3rd field goal. He's got 8.
Needed that.
1-point game, that brings a 10-0 burst to a halt. And Wingate was on and answered LMU's 8-0 run. Miller, right wing. This one's off to the right. Rebound bounces into the hands of Walters. Double here in the backcourt. Walters pressured, and the outlets to Enos. Numbers the other way. Allard, one more. Freeman up and in, around and out. And out of bounds, it'll stay with Lincoln Memorial. Good find underneath, but Freeman couldn't finish.
You know what I love to see here? Wingate's being aggressive, fighting for the ball despite having already 16 fouls. I almost love the decision from Brian Good to not pull off the gas pedal and to continue being aggressive, because that's what led to that win over this tough Rail Splitters team back in January. A tough roll on the other end for Elijah Freeman, but the Rail Splitters get a second opportunity with the ball out of bounds.
Inbound for Jordan. Curling is Allard. He'll give to Walters. Offensive foul. Allard pushed off, trying to create some positioning off the screen. And that's Lincoln Memorial's 15th foul, and the first on the redshirt sophomore Allard. Ball back with Wingate in a 1-point game, and what is the first postseason meeting between these two sides in 6 seasons. Have to go back to 2019, and that was a game in which Wingate upset 3rd-seeded LMU at the buzzer. Game-winning layup in the quarterfinals that season. Out front, it's Jordan Miller for Wingate. Bulldogs team that's made 4 of 9 triples, but Freeman's got the steal the other way. A windmill finish from Elijah Freeman. What a way for your first basket at the South Atlantic Conference Tournament.
Makes me want a dunk contest in the South Atlantic.
Freeman might have thought it was. There was nobody down there with him. I don't blame him for the highlight finish on the other end after the steal. Bradley from the left wing for 3. It's off to the right, an air ball. And out of bounds, unable to save it is Aaron Hall.
Now, on the other end of that Freeman dunk, if he comes up empty and gets rejected by the rim, you're going to get chewed out by your coach on the bench when you're taken out of the game again.
Another look at Wingate's miss from Derek Bradley. Bulldogs have made 40% of their threes. Both teams shooting it well from long distance. Above 40%. Rail Splitters by 1 point. Bulldogs haven't scored in more than 2 minutes, 20-19, with 9 to play in the first. Freeman out front. Gets an Allard screen. The switch to Taylor against his 2 fouls. Freeman from the free throw line needs help. Goes left corner. Enos, a triple. Got it and one again. A second 4-point play opportunity as Wes Enos buries his 3rd triple, and he'll go to the line to try to cap a 4-point play again.
Well, you talk about this being a shooting foul, 1 free throw coming up, but I think it's worth mentioning again, that's now the 7th on Wingate, so it's 1-1 on non-shooting fouls from here on out until Wingate's 10th.
Wes Enos playing at a high level all season long. That's carried over into the quarterfinals as he buries his third triple. And he's got 11 first-half points here in the first 11 minutes of the game.
Wes Enos on the line with 1 shot.
Enos in the regular season scored in double figures in 25 of the 27 games, went for 20 or more 16 different times. It's more than half the games he played, he went for at least 20. He's got 12 after the free throw. And LMU back in front by 5. A game of runs, a first half of runs, now an 8-0 burst for the Rail Splitters. Taylor doubled, leaves it off for Bradley. He gets it back on a return pass. Nothing there, he'll give it to Miller. Miller off to Kendall Taylor. He drives to the basket, up and in, and one. Who's the foul on underneath? It's on Elijah Freeman, and that's his third. 3 fouls on the conference's freshman of the year with 8:26 to play in the first after the drive and finish by Taylor.
Andrew, you ever hear of a surrender cobra?
Yes.
When you put your hands on your head in disbelief, that's the exact movement that Jeremiah Samaripas just had on the bench when he saw that it was on Elijah Freeman, his star freshman, number 3 with 3 fouls.
So that brings E.J. Smith back into the game. Taylor completes the 3-point play. After his second field goal, he's got 5 points, and it's back to a 2-point game. First half of runs so far here in Rock Hill in the 1-8 matchup, and our first of 4 quarterfinals on day 1 of the tournament. Allard driving middle, splits 2, lost it, able to gather it back. LMU resets with Enos in 7 seconds. He'll launch from the NBA, maybe even beyond the NBA line. Left it short, rebound Miller and the Dogs. Pack out front, off to Kendall Taylor. Taylor driving against Walters, sees a second defender, shovels it off for Miller. Miller fades away, shooting over Walters. Left it short, rebound E.J. Smith. He's off to the races. Smith into the paint, lost the dribble, and LMU turns it over. 6 Rail Splitter turnovers, and we'll take a break. First half of runs, Lincoln Memorial by 2 points thanks to 12 first half points for Wes Enos. 24-22 Rail Splitters here in Rock Hill. We're back for more from the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center after this on Flow Sports.
What is a lab of difference making? It's a place. A safe place. A safe place to explore and experiment. It's a place to focus and question your perceived notions. To step out of your comfort zone and be bold, brave, and different. Or to shake things up and try something new. It's Wingate.
It's raining threes here in Rock Hill between Lincoln Memorial and Wingate. Both teams, Tyler, have made 4 triples here early on.
Yeah, 12 points each from the triple. 24 points for LMU, 22 for Wingate. That's half or more of both teams' points coming from the triple. And I guess it shows you how good both these teams pressure inside the arc, that the only place you have a good look is beyond the arc.
Wingate's made 4 of its 10 triples. LMU 4 of 8. See the high shooting numbers. Both teams from the field and from 3 above 40% in a first half of runs here in Rock Hill. Bulldogs basketball down 2. Taylor once again met by a double. Urback back into the game, leaves for Taylor. Kendall Taylor just 3 shot attempts so far. Leaves to Pack. Here's a good look for Taylor. He turns it down. 1 dribble pull up from 3. Buries it. Kendall Taylor has his first 3, and the Bulldogs, rather it's a 2, foot on the line. He's got 7. Tied at 24. Bulldogs with the last 5 as Walters drives against Aaron Hall, gets him in the air, tries to finish, can't do so, but a foul. late whistle, and it's on Aaron Hall. That's his third. So both teams have a starter on the bench, or maybe on the bench here soon, with 3 fouls. Hall's got 3 for Wingate, and Elijah Freeman on LMU's bench has 3.
Yeah, a lot of whistles and a difficult guy for Wingate to now bring to the line. Walters, an 80% shooter at the line this season.
First one is good from Jordan Walters. He's got 7 points, 5 of which have been from the line. Second one's in the air. It's too strong off the back of the iron. Wingate brings in Jaden Lingo, a junior guard that averages 7 points per game. So a smaller lineup with Kendall Taylor operating as the 5. Both teams without a true forward or center on the floor here. Taylor rips through against Walters, stops the free throw line, hands off for Bradley. Bradley steps back deep 2 over Allard, is short, and Walters there for the rebound, his 6th rebound. Enos out front, Smith. E.J. Smith, another all-freshman team player for the Rail Splitters. Walters drives against Lingo. He's got the mismatch on the 6'3 guard. Forced to give it up. Ballard from the right wing. Barely grazed the net on Allard's second three-point try. Bulldogs the other way. 2 defenders on Taylor. He'll give it up. Now get it back. Here comes another one. He'll give to Bradley. Right wing. It's Lingo. High post. Taylor will fade over Jordan. Left it short. Rebound Walters. He's got 7 first half rebounds. Does Jordan Walters. Right side. Allard will try again. Off to the left. Jordan, offensive rebound. Smallest guy on the floor has got an extra chance for the Rail Splitters. Smith driving in. Fades. And can't finish. Rebound. Fought for by Urbeck and Taylor, and the Rail Splitters will get another chance. LMU has missed its last 4 shots from the field. As Enos has it at the right wing with 7. He drives middle against Bradley, forces one up, and is fouled. Free throws for Wes Enos after a driving layup attempt. And we'll wait and see who the foul is on. It's going to be the 9th team foul. And it's on Derek Bradley. That's his second personal foul. So 2 on Bradley and free throws for Enos. Rail Splitters 7 of 8 from the stripe. This is Enos' second attempt, and he buries it. He's got 13.
Yeah, LMU now with 8 points coming from the charity stripe. You talk about those fouls for Wingate. It's not just foul trouble and taking your players out of the game. You take 8 points off the scoreboard, Wingate's got a pretty comfortable lead right now and make it now 9.
Enos up to 14 points. 3-point game. 27-24. And a 1-8 matchup here on the men's side. This is Kendall Taylor, an all-SAC first-teamer after averaging 24.5 points per game in the regular season. He gives it up and throws it to the LMU bench. Too high of a pass, and that's Wingate's 5th turnover.
This one has lived up to the hype so far. Wes Enos, Player of the Year with 14. The one thing I am a little surprised about is that Taylor is not the leading scorer for Wingate right now. It's Pack, but he's played out of his mind so far.
Jordan driving baseline and can't finish, but a foul. Not before Garcia Arroyo's shot, but on Jordan's shot attempt, and that's Kendall Taylor's 3rd foul. So a second Wingate player with 3 fouls. With 4:55 to play in the first half. Free throws for Connor Jordan of Lincoln Memorial. They're putting a lot of pressure on the rim, and Wingate, on the flip side, is fouled 10 times.
Well, it's a great strategy. You know they can't avoid fouling inside, so why not rush towards the rim? Doesn't matter if you make it or not, but you get some of Wingate's star players in foul trouble. Might make the second half and the stretch, down the stretch in that second half, maybe a little bit easier with some of those starters on the bench.
Brian Good will bring Kendall Taylor out of the game. He played 79 of the 80 minutes in the first 2 meetings between these 2 teams. He's out of the game. Both free throws buried by Jordan, and LMU has a 5-point lead. 29-24. Top of the key, this is Urbeck going left side for Derek Bradley. He's open for a left wing triple. It's too strong. Rebound fought for him. We've got a foul with Blessed Barriega, a junior forward from Minneapolis, Minnesota, into the game in the front court. Battling for the rebound, he got fouled by Osmar Garcia Arroyo.
I'll ask you this, Andrew. How often do you see a team late in the first half like this having taken the same number of 2-point shots as 3-point shots? Wingate a really balanced attack from inside the paint, mid-range jumpers, and beyond the arc.
Quality display of scoring at all three levels as Barriega buries the first free throw for his first point of the conference tournament. Shoots 44% off the bench. Does have one double-figure scoring effort this season. That was November 23rd against Tusculum. Comes up empty on his second free throw, 4-point game. Neither team has made a basket in almost 3 minutes. Enos will try to change that, but his three-pointer is short. Two players hit the deck. It's Urbeck there first, and the outlets to Pack. Urbeck is shaken up behind the play. 4-on-5 the other way. Wingate will play on here. Urbeck is back to his feet, jogging the other way. Bradley driving to the right block, gives to Barriega. There's Urbeck back on the floor. He is favoring the left leg, and the Bulldogs turn it over.
Always a tough task when you're playing 4-on-5, more or less trying to get a shorthanded goal, to steal a hockey term. Looks like he's staying in the game, and that's really good news for Wingate for Urbeck.
Smith has it for Lincoln Memorial. He drives and can't finish, but he's fouled by Urbeck. And free throws for E.J. Smith after Mike Urbeck's first foul. 29-24, 29-25. Both teams have gone cold from the field. Neither side's made a basket in more than 3 minutes, but it's the Rail Splitters by 4 at our under 4 timeout here in Rock Hill. We'll wrap up the first half and our first men's quarterfinal first half from Rock Hill after this on Flow Sports.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
This place has a heartbeat of its own.
The vibe that you get when you walk into the student center, you just get a vibe that you're here at home.
It's given me opportunities that I never thought I'd have. Everyone here knows everyone. That atmosphere is infectious.
The relationships that I've built here have been phenomenal, and I know that they'll last beyond here at Wise.
It's a magic little place in the mountains.
Andrew Rogers and Tyler Katz here back in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Lincoln Memorial leads Wingate 29-25 as we look at some statistical numbers. Hot shooting in the first 10-plus minutes. It's kind of gone cold here over the last 4 minutes of basketball. LMU only shooting 33% from the field.
You know, Wingate's playing really well. Probably one of their better games. We talk about how they were 2-0 down the stretch of the regular season, but it just shows how tough this LMU squad is to beat. And LMU's been drawing those fouls without free throws. Wingate's leading this game pretty heavy-handedly.
This is E.J. Smith at the free throw line, and his first free throw comes up short. He shot 66% in the regular season from the line. All-SAC freshman team selection is able to bury the second free throw. Rail Splitters are 12 of 14 as a team, 30-25. Still no Kendall Taylor on the floor for Brian Good's team. He's the conference's leading scorer. Bradley, hard drive to the right, will finger roll it up off the front of the iron and through for Derek Bradley's first field goal. One possession game again. Still no Freeman. He's got 3 fouls on Lincoln Memorial's bench as Smith looks for a post-up inside. Looking for Garcia Arroyo against Urbeck in the mismatch in there. Smith will dribble it, driving baseline. Nice find. Allard, left corner triple. No good, too strong. Jordan, another offensive rebound. He drives and loses it. 7th Lincoln Memorial turnover. Miller dribbles toward the corner. Bulldogs can tie with a 3 as Barriega pitches it out for Bradley. Bradley bodied up by Allard, gets into the paint, drives, tried to go to the baseline for Barriega, and it was deflected out. Still 13 to shoot. Seems important, Tyler, if Wingate can just keep this deficit right around 3-5-point mark with no Kendall Taylor here down the stretch.
Yeah, keep that plus-minus. If you can make it a plus, that's even better for Brian Good.
Pack at the left wing. Timer down to 4. Miller got fouled. A bailout foul by E.J. Smith with 2 to shoot. And that is E.J. Smith in his 3rd foul. So 2 freshmen and 2 key players, 2 all SAC freshman players for Jeremiah Samarippis' team have 3 fouls in the first half.
Don't get me wrong, Andrew, it was a foul, but I just loved the embellishment on that.
That was Jordan Miller doing that, and he gets to the free throw line, and he misses the first free throw. After this shot attempt against Smith, Smith had his hand in the cookie jar there as Miller went up with the shot attempt.
Yeah, it's an interesting look for Wingate, right? You typically see Kendall Taylor out there on the floor, and he's the go-to guy for Wingate. But I think without him on the floor, you really get to see how deep this Bulldogs squad is.
That's unfortunate for Jordan Miller. A chance to bring it to a 1-point game. He misses both free throws. Wingate is now 3 of 6 as a team. LMU basketball, this is Wes Enos lobbing for Garcia Arroyo. He jump stops in the lane and got fouled. More free throws in a foul-heavy first half in Rock Hill. This one is on Mike Urbach. That's his 2nd foul. We're going to have to reset the foul troubles for both sides. We've had 20 combined fouls, and these will be free throws 22 and 23 combined by these 2 teams. Garcia Arroyo in and out on the first.
Yeah, Kyle Lucky, Matt Leganke, and Alex Brunell, the 3 officials on the floor today from the South Atlantic Conference, heavy-handed on the whistles. But, I mean, it's been a physical game, so proper calls most of the way through.
Garcia Arroyo splits a pair, 4-point game. Bradley skips it to Jordan Miller. Miller touches paint, gives to Derek Bradley. Bradley driving on Allard, and we've got a offensive foul away from the ball. That's on Jordan Miller, and that's his 3rd. Lord have mercy. So 3 Bulldogs, all starters, have 3 fouls. Wingate's got 2 players with 3 fouls, or rather LMU on the flip side has 2 guys with 3 fouls.
Yeah, for the fans watching at home, I just want to have you think about putting yourself in the shoes of Brian Good, having to coach in the second half against a nationally ranked team who's the projected 2 seed in the region with 3 of your starters in foul trouble in the first half.
Walters with a right-hand hook for his 9th point. And LMU has its first basket in 6.5 minutes and a 6-point lead still. This is Bradley in the corner. Bradley drives middle, gives off to Matty Ford. He stops at the right block. Goes middle for Barriega, but he turns it over. Ball loose. Ford gets it back. He'll drive to the cup and can't finish. The tip is there for Barriega. Nice left-hand tap from the junior forward.
Even though he missed the shot, what effort by Matty Ford getting the steal and getting to the basket with speed and emphasis.
Wingate has its first field goal in a couple of minutes as we dip under 90 seconds to play first half. To the baseline, it's tipped out by Wingate. It'll stay with Lincoln Memorial with $1:16 to play in this first half. Stay with us at halftime. We've got full interviews with Assistant Commissioner of Communications Jeremy Zalaka. We'll preview the Anderson-Lenore-Rhine matchup with Anderson head coach Jimmy Williams as well. That's going to be defensive goaltending on Barriega. He tried to tap the ball off the rim on the layup attempt by Garcia Arroyo, so count the field goal. And LMU's back in front by 6. Rather, it was Enos with the shot. That'll count. Leading up to halftime, we'll hear from these 2 head coaches as well. Adam Cavalier, our sideline reporter for this first contest, will be standing by. Ford traveled. Took 2 steps before the basketball got put on the floor. And with 54 seconds to play in the first half. Jeremiah Samaripis will use his use it or lose it timeout here with his team up 6 points in this first quarterfinal. Lincoln Memorial is trying to win its first conference title since 2020. It would be their 6th overall if they can win 3 games over the next 4 days. And on Wingate's side, Tyler, the Bulldogs trying to be just one of 4 teams to ever upset the number 1 overall seed in the first round. It would be the first time since 2004.
Yeah, I mean, they got a good shot to do it, right? It's a 6-point game right now, but a lot of your starters are in foul trouble. And at some point, Brian Good will come to the realization that you can ignore the foul counts and you have to have your best players on the floor. And that includes taking 3 players who are in foul trouble and putting them back on the floor. And I would not be shocked to see Kendall Taylor re-enter this game to start the second half.
LMU basketball. Wingate brings Javon Calmisi into the game, a 6'5 junior, to play some defense here down the stretch. He's 20 in blue. Walters drives middle, shoots over Barriega, and got fouled. That's 14 fouls by Wingate in this first half. That's Barriega's first. Well, don't worry at home if you're watching with us here on Flow Sports. We're just as lost as you are with all the fouls and foul trouble. We'll reset it heading into the second half. But more free throws for Lincoln Memorial, who will shoot 17 and 18 free throw attempts in this first half. Walters makes the first.
Yeah, well, what you need to know is Aaron Hall, Jordan Miller, and Kendall Taylor all with 3 fouls. 3 of your starters in major foul trouble and literally gifting LMU multiple points on the scoreboard. I've mentioned it before, I'll say it again. You take away LMU's free throw attempts, the 8th seed is leading this contest.
Rail Splitters 15 of 18 from the stripe as Bradley drives and gets rejected. Rail Splitters with numbers. Enos leads the break to Walters. Walters knifes his way through and finishes.
What a sequence from Jordan Walters. Gets the rejection, goes all the way down the floor, and gets the layup. His hard work paying off.
The senior has 13, and LMU has the last 6. 10-point game with 10 seconds to play in the half. Bradley will pull it out. Clock down to 7. Bradley driving on Walters, forces it up with the floater, no. 2 seconds. Garcia Arroyo across half court. He won't get his shot up, and the first half comes to a close. An elite finish to the first half for Lincoln Memorial. 6 points over the final 65 seconds. They make their final 3 shots to gain a 10-point lead at halftime, 39-29. And the regular season champs have a 10-point lead over the Wingate Bulldogs. We'll send it down to the floor. Adam Cavalier standing by with Jeremiah Samaripis.
All right, thank you very much, Andrew Germ. I think if I were to tell you that you were going to go 6.5 minutes without a field goal, Elijah Freeman was going to be in foul trouble with 3 fouls, and you were going to be up 10 at the break, you might call me crazy. Break down this first half.
Yeah, probably crazy. EJ as well. You know, they both have 3. Yeah, I mean, we're a resilient group, so we responded pretty well. They're in a little bit of foul trouble as well, which helped us out, but definitely not our best half of basketball. I think we'll be much better in the second half, and I expect them to come out and execute a little bit better. Our execution just hasn't been there really on both sides of the floor. We've settled a little bit on offense, and on defense we've been a little bit slow on some rotations, so we'll be better.
What's it take second half to have that quality performance?
Taylor, man, he's leading scorer in the league. You got to guard him well. It starts with him. And then the 50-50 balls, the offensive rebounds, we've got to win that in the second half and take care of the ball. You know, some unforced turnovers, some self-inflicted wounds. If we can be better there, we'll play much better the second half.
Germ, thanks for the time. Good luck second half.
Thank you.
Come upstairs to you, Andrew.
Thanks, Adam. 10-point game at halftime. It's Lincoln Memorial, the regular season champions. 23-4 overall, leading Wingate, the number 8 seed, 39-29. We've hit halftime, 10-point game here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We're back for more at halftime here on Flow Sports.
The NCAA sponsors 90 national championships each year, none of which could happen without officials. There's an urgent need for sports officials across the country, as they are retiring 4 times faster than they are coming in, leaving shortages at all levels of sport. The NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of new officials for all sports. There are many great reasons to become an official. Stay in shape and get paid to do so. Meet new people and build relationships within a tight-knit community. Give back to the sport you love by creating a fair atmosphere and upholding the integrity of the game. Say yes to officiating. Visit ncaa.org/say yes to officiating for more information on how to get started.
At Anderson University, we are on a journey, one that seeks to find the purpose for which God created each and every one of us. So we search, we grow, we dive in, and with a close-knit community, small class sizes, accomplished and supportive faculty, and a spirit that believes that together we can accomplish big things. The person we are striving to become doesn't feel so far away. So we push, we dream, we dig deeper, until our journey finds us as teachers, artists, writers, athletes, engineers, nurses, and friends. And while we're at it, we just might change the world. Anderson University, knowledge for your journey.
Tyler Katz here at the South Atlantic Conference Men's Basketball Tournament on Flow Sports with Anderson head coach Jimmy Williams. Coach, facing a tough LR team that you've seen twice this season, making a couple adjustments between those two first meetings and now, what's this different look going to be like if you're going to make any changes on the floor today?
Yeah, so I mean, at this point in the year, you're kind of who you are. You know, I think LR's done a great job. They've had a really good year. Brent has done an amazing job in his first year there, and it's definitely a tough opponent. We've played them twice this year, and both games came down to the last possession. So we're not going to do a whole lot of wholesale change. I think it's a big part in March about your mentality and coming out ready to go. And I love our team. I'm excited for the challenge.
Now, heading into this tournament as well, of course, having those two single-digit games against Lenoir-Rhyne, but having a pretty competitive team all the way throughout, how do you feel overall your team's ability to go out there every single day this week and try to get that win in the SAC title game?
Oh, that's right. I mean, I love our team, and our team has continued to fight and get better, and I do believe we have the best locker room in the country, and I think that's a competitive advantage, especially in postseason play. And as far as all week long, we just got to win today. That's it. We got to lock into today and what our mission is, and stay true to who we are. And I think the results we'll be happy with. But you can't come into a tournament like this. Our league is so good. I mean, there's so many great teams, and if you're thinking about winning the tournament today, then I think you miss where your feet are today. We just have a task in front of us. It's a tough task, and I'm really excited for the challenge.
All right, Coach, well, good luck today against Lenoir-Rhyne. With head coach Jimmy Williams, I'm Tyler Katz at the SAC Men's Basketball Tournament on Flow Sports.
Pursuit of wisdom. A wisdom to find joy in meaningful work and to seek the betterment of those around us. We will create the communities of tomorrow. We will work to cure diseases and fight hunger. We will run for office and serve our constituents. We will give back to our communities and build the businesses that will change the world. At Coker University, we will search for a better future and build it together.
Our roots run deep here at Catawba College. So do our ambitions. We're pushing forward into life-saving, cutting-edge genomics research, powering up with geothermal heat and solar energy, going after national championships, and saying yes to the impossible, and then delivering on it. We don't just talk about saving the planet, revolutionizing education for the next generation, innovating business, unleashing creativity, or pioneering better, kinder, smarter healthcare. We do it. Good change starts here with us. And it goes far, just You watch. Catawba College. Good goes far.
Andrew Rogers back here at halftime of the South Atlantic Conference Basketball Championships, now joined by Jeremy Zalaka, the Assistant Commissioner in the South Atlantic Conference. Jeremy, second year now that this basketball tournament will take place at the Rock Hill Sports and Event Center. Your first year, though, with the league. What's been the most challenging part getting ready for a 4-day, 14-game long event?
Yeah, just making sure everything's prepped and ready. Again, being my first year, you're not sure what obstacles you're going to run into. But just being ready for anything and whatever, and really excited to have this. This venue is amazing. It's really been neat to come over here and get everything set up and check it out. Now I'm really excited to see it with the games going and packed and high-intensity moments, and just excited to bring South Atlantic Conference basketball here to Flow Sports and here to the Rock Hill Sports and Event Center.
What's the thing that fans will be most engaged with when they come to a game here or watch it on Flow Sports that you're excited most about for the week?
Yeah, the level of basketball that we have in this conference is unmatched, really, in this region, and really excited to just showcase all 16 of these teams coming to compete. Both sides feel like wide open. We have talented teams on the men's and women's side that can come in and make some noise here, and really this could be a preview of a regional. Just the level of talent and the venue and the fans, and just really excited to have a neutral atmosphere. Environment for these teams to come compete, cut down some nets, raise some trophies, and go home with some hardware.
All right, thanks for the time.
Appreciate you.
That's the South Atlantic Conference Assistant Commissioner, Jeremy Zalaka. We're at halftime here at the South Atlantic Conference Basketball Championships on Flow Sports.
What will you find?
The NCAA sponsors 90 national championships each year, none of which could happen without officials. There's an urgent need for sports officials across the country, as they are retiring 4 times faster than they are coming in, leaving shortages at all levels of sport. The NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of new officials for all sports. There are many great reasons to become an official. Stay in shape and get paid to do so. Meet new people and build relationships within a tight-knit community. Give back to the sport you love by creating a fair atmosphere and upholding the integrity of the game. Say yes to officiating. Visit ncaa.org/say yes to officiating for more information on how to get started.
At Anderson University, we are on a journey, one that seeks to find the purpose for which God created each and every one of us. So we search, we grow, we dive in, and with a close-knit community, small class sizes, accomplished and supportive faculty, and a spirit that believes that together we can accomplish big things. The person we are striving to become doesn't feel so far away. So we push, we dream, we dig deeper, until our journey finds us as teachers, artists, writers, athletes, engineers, nurses, and friends. And while we're at it, we just might change the world. Anderson University, knowledge for your journey.
Andrew Rogers and Tyler Katz back here from the South Atlantic Conference Basketball Tournament at Rock Hill, South Carolina, at the Rock Hill Sports and Event Center, where Lincoln Memorial, the #1 seed, leads the 8th seed Wingate Bulldogs. Standing by with the head coach of the Bulldogs, Brian Good, is Adam Cavalier.
All right, Adam Cavalier alongside Brian Good as Wingate trails Lincoln Memorial 39-29 at the halftime break. Brian, I think if I were to tell you that you were going to hold LMU to below 40% shooting and keep them without a field goal for 6.5 minutes, you'd like your chances, but LMU leads by 10 at the break. What's the key to the second half to make some inroads into this deficit?
Yeah, I thought what really happened to us was I thought we did a great job taking away the three, and I thought they really started beating us up in the paint and got too many drives to the rim, too many post-ups to the rim. So it was almost like we took something away and they found another way to score, and I think that hurt us more than them shooting threes. So what we talked about is just trying to do a better job containing the basketball and not allowing the post-ups to get them where they want.
Foul trouble. You and Jeremiah Samarippis both have to coach through it. Kendall Taylor with 3, Elijah Freeman with 3. How does that impact the game plan?
Well, obviously it impacted the first half there a lot. We had to try to manage without him, and that didn't go very well. So hopefully we can keep him out of trouble because we probably need him for all 20 this half.
All right, Brian, good luck second half.
Thanks, man.
All right, Andrew, Tyler, back up to you.
Thanks, Adam, and we appreciate Brian Good and Jeremiah Samarippis and all the coaches here at the South Atlantic Conference Basketball Tournament for their services before and after halftime. 39-29, Tyler, let's take a look at some highlights from that first half. Corbin Pack with 11 to lead Wingate, and Wes Enos has 16 to lead Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah, well, story of the first part of that second half, or first half, I should say, was the three-point shooting. Then both teams, when foul trouble started to ramp up a bit more, started to race towards the basket, started filling up the paint a little bit, and that worked more or less out for LMU than it did for Wingate. For Brian Good, I mean, you just heard him mention that he's going to have to coach through foul trouble, and it didn't work out great against Kendall Taylor. I know it's almost a controversial strategy. I would say almost leave Kendall Taylor in until he fouls out of this game.
He scores in that first half. As you take a look at some of the team numbers from that first half, Wingate barely outshoots Lincoln Memorial, both right at 40%. Kendall Taylor has 7 points in 15 minutes on the floor. Both teams made 4 triples, but those 4 triples, both sides, were by the first 3 media breaks. I don't think either team made a 3 over the final 8 minutes of that first half. Turnovers relatively the same, but the points off turnovers and the rebounding favoring the Rail Splitters.
Yeah, rebounding especially. When you get out-rebounded by 8, it's really tough to lead, let alone win a basketball game. We saw Wingate be aggressive. You take it back to the opening tip-off win. The Bulldogs were racing for the basketball. They know how to be aggressive. The problem is there's been heavy-handed whistles on both sides, so Wingate needs to find a way to be aggressive in the paint and stop these shots while also staying out of foul trouble, and it's just a dichotomy that doesn't seem to work out in too many cases. So it's almost a pick your own poison if you're Brian Good and the Bulldogs.
We start the second half, 39-29, and it's Wingate with the basketball to start the second half. Taylor off to Jordan Miller. He'll launch a 3. It's left short. Rebound Jordan Walters. Walters had 7 first half rebounds. That's his 8th. Walters pressured by Corbin Pack, leaves left side for Jordan. He drives baseline, cut off by Miller. Allard to Enos. He'll drive against Taylor. Drives inside, can't finish. Rebound collected by Taylor. Good defending that time inside by Wingate. Taylor driving inside through contact, finishes. That's a good take from Kendall Taylor for his 4th field goal. He's got 9. Good start to the second half for the Bulldogs that are back down within single digits at 8. Allard hit a 3 in the first half. Leaves off for Jordan Walters, who had 13 points. He spins against Taylor, trying to leave it off. Pass to flex around. Freeman's got it. Freeman goes straight up, can't finish. His follow the second time is there.
I mean, it's almost unfair when you're able to get a layup with 3 guys surrounding you trying to stop you. Really impressive stuff from the Florida native Freeman.
Freshman of the year has his 4th point. Miller bounces. This is Mike Urbeck against Connor Jordan. He gets to the paint, drives, shoots over Jordan, and gets the roll. Mike Urbeck with his first basket on his 3rd try. Bulldogs back within 8. 41-33. We're just 90 seconds into this second half. Walters right-hand dribble to the block. Tries to go up and over Taylor. No. Gets it back but has it poked away. A steal for the Dogs. Taylor will bring it down the floor. He lobs it inside. Hall's got the mismatch. Spins, goes up, and is fouled. foul on Thomas Allard, and that is his second personal foul, and free throws for Aaron Hall, the sophomore forward from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Wingate an opportunity to get their free throw numbers back up, just shooting 3 of 7 from the charity stripe.
First free throw for Hall is in the air. It's too strong off the back of the iron for a guy that makes 72% of his free throws. And what's surprising as well, Tyler, is Wingate is the best free throw shooting team in the South Atlantic Conference at 80%. That's 5th best nationally as well. And they have made just 4 of their 9 free throws after that second one's good from Hall. Struggling, a rare time. They've struggled from the line this year. Left elbow, this is Jordan Walters. Enos with a jab step, guarded by Miller. Off to Allard, he'll try from the wing for 3, and he knocks it down. Allard's second triple after shooting 44% in the regular season. And the Rail Splitters back in front by double digits. Taylor for the answer, he's got it. Kendall Taylor responds with his first 3, 7-point game. 44-37 on Taylor's first 3 and his 12th point. Enos touches paint off to Allard. He's got back-to-back triples. Third 3 for Allard, and now the shots are going down for both sides. Taylor from the baseline. Not that time. Offensive rebound, Jordan Miller. To the corner for Urbach. He turns down the 3. Now lobs it out front, nearly stolen by Enos, the conference's defensive player of the year. Taylor doubled, he needs help. Lobs for Aaron Hall. Hall down low. Urbach floats up and in. 4 points for Mike Urbach, all after halftime. Back to an 8-point game. Enos against Freeman, or rather Miller. Gives up for Jordan to the baseline, Walters. Backdoor cutting is Enos to the rim, and the left-hand layup. Good action when Walters finds the player of the year for his 18th point.
Yeah, it's Allard, Walters, and Enos, the double-digit scores for LMU. Surprisingly, Freeman being held to just 4 points with the potential for more here on the fast break.
Turnover Dogs, layup for the Rail Splitters on the other end. Jordan from the left side. His first basket of the second half, his 4th point, and it's 51-39. Lincoln Memorial has its largest lead at this point. Urbach trying to respond. Not good with the 3-point attempt. The outlet pass to Enos. Enos pulls up for a tray ball. Left it short. Rebound Kendall Taylor. Taylor wants to push it into the front court. He drives on Allard. Euro step. Forces one up and got fouled. Free throws when we come back. Lincoln Memorial has made its last 4 shots from the field and has its largest lead of the game with 15 minutes and 33 seconds to play. 51-39. Kendall Taylor to the line when we come back to the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center here on Flow Sports.
At LMU, every door is open. Each can help me build my future exactly how I imagine it. Let's check those specs, guys. And lead to a career where I'll have an impact. As a nurse. How are you feeling today? A social worker.
I guess I started when I was young.
Or an executive of a multinational company. Take a look at the third quarter. I know LMU will prepare me for a career where I'll make my mark. That's a cut. Because whatever door I walk into, there's a...
Balance. It isn't just essential in your sport. It's essential in life. Especially college life. It's everything you need to thrive in school, in sport, and everything in between. The key is just finding a place where you can pursue it all. Because the real beauty lies in the balance. If you want to win in every arena of college life, go D2. Make it yours.
We welcome you back to Game 1 of a 14-game, 4-day-long week here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Tyler, the best part about a conference basketball tournament on both the men's and women's sides, you've got a lot of teams watching these games.
Yeah, majority of the crowd, it feels like, is made up of teams just spectating around. UVA Wise, who doesn't even play till tomorrow, watching from the corner. Anderson, who's on deck with the next game, watching in one corner. Their counterparts against, and Lenore Rhine, the Bears, watching from the opposite corner. So it's always cool to see some neutral site action when it would usually be you playing in those games and get the chance to take in some conference basketball.
Of course. Of course, Carson-Newman and UVA Wise will start tomorrow's round of quarterfinal games, and the winner of that would play the winner of this game. So that's why those two teams are certainly intrigued by this matchup. Kendall Taylor buries the first free throw. He's up to 13 points. Scored in double figures now in 27 games this season, all 27 games his team's played. Both free throws good, 51-41. Both teams identical in field goals made and field goals attempted, 15 of 34, but LMU has made 9 more free throws. Enos, right wing, against Wingate's man-to-man defense. Jordan crosses over at the elbow, fades away. The lefty leaves it off to the left, and the rebound tapped into the hands of Miller. Transition for Wingate, nothing there, and they'll bring it out front for Kendall Taylor. Taylor going to work against Enos, driving baseline, and had it stripped away. It'll stay with Wingate. E.J. Smith on the floor, so Smith and Garcia Arroyo, two reserves on the floor now for Lincoln Memorial, as you see the quality defending here from Enos, the conference's defensive player of the year.
You also have to remember Elijah Freeman and Smith both on the floor for LMU with 3 personals.
Taylor driving, can't finish, but he got fouled by Garcia Arroyo. And free throws for Kendall Taylor as Garcia Arroyo commits his second personal foul. Good job by Taylor here to spin away from Garcia Arroyo, draw some contact, and get his team back to the free throw line. Taylor gets there a lot, and he shoots 88% from the stripe. He's 4 of 4 now after making that free throw. In the regular season, he shot 193 free throws over 26 games.
That is a ridiculous number. I don't think anyone can argue that.
Misses that one, too strong off the back of the iron. 9-point game, though, 51-42 as LMU brings it front court with Smith. He wants a pick and roll with Garcia Arroyo. Smith gives it back to Garcia Arroyo for the deuce. Good pick and roll action between a freshman and a sophomore to put the Rail Splitters back up double digits. Taylor, met by 2 players, gives to Corbin Pack. They go middle for Hall. Hall shovels for Miller. Back out front, Taylor catches and fires. It's an air ball. Hall saves it, but he was out of bounds when he saved it back into the playing area. And so it's Lincoln Memorial basketball, a team that has made 5 of its last 7 shot attempts to lead by 11.
One thing that I've noticed from first half to the second half is the number of quality passes LMU is taking. It's really a team effort, and you'll see that here as they continue to pass the rock.
Freeman turns down a 3, and he traveled. 9th turnover by Lincoln Memorial. 2 really good passing teams, and we'll see a lot of good passing teams with high assist numbers throughout this tournament. As you see the Freeman travel. All right, had a good look at a 3-point attempt, decided to put it on the floor, and turns it over. 11-point game, 6 minutes gone by in the second half. Taylor met by a double near midcourt, tries to skip it, and it was deflected by Garcia Arroyo. Tyler, so challenging for Kendall Taylor. Every time there's a ball screen, he's met by 2 white jerseys.
Well, yeah, that's the game plan, right? Take the leading scorer in the South Atlantic Conference, put 2 on him just to try to contain him a bit. He's still going to get to the basket, but you can at least try to contain him a little bit more than you would.
Taylor's got it with 5. Kendall Taylor pulls up from the elbow and buries it. He's got 6 field goals and 17 points.
And that's why he's the league's leading scorer, right? Still double team, still getting tough shots, contested looks, and they still find the basket. Just a really great talent Kendall Taylor is for this Wingate team.
Freeman to the corner. Allard with 2 men jumping. They've got numbers. Throw it inside. Garcia Arroyo catches, and he got fouled on his way up. Good pump fake from Thomas Allard to get 2 blue jerseys in the air. And it leads to Garcia Arroyo getting fouled underneath, and Corbin Pack is shaken up after this play underneath with Garcia Arroyo. Took an elbow, or actually maybe even a hand of Garcia Arroyo, and the officials signal to the scores table they're going to take a look at this. After that shot attempt by Garcia Arroyo. Don't know who the foul was signaled on underneath. It might be on Pack, and they did just whistle it on Pack, so that'll be his first and Wingate's first foul after halftime as the officials go courtside to review this play. Kyle Lucky, Alex Brunell, and Matt Lagonki at the scores table to check this play out. Seems to be a basketball play, I think, Tyler, just naturally following through after a shot attempt.
Yeah, I don't personally see anything wrong with the play from my end. And looking at the second angle, other than putting a hand on the shoulder to stop him from rising up to take that shot, I don't really see any contact to warrant a whistle at all.
When you slow it down and watch it as we do here on Flow Sports, it almost seems like it's an unnatural motion when you slow it down, but in the midst of taking that shot attempt, your natural reaction is to shoot, and then your arms kind of
well, you've got to prep for the rebound, right? So
Correct.
you take the shot, you get back in position to try to square up your legs, square up your feet to your shoulders to get that rebound. I don't think he was expecting Corbin Pack to be there. That elbow just comes down right into the face, and it's unfortunate for Corbin Pack, but it's just wrong place, wrong time. Well, let's try to go 1 of 1.
Have to start with a win. We'll see what happens if we're able to be correct on this and start the week here 1-0 on these. This is a lengthy discussion here at midcourt, so that makes me think that maybe this could get upgraded to a flagrant foul. 53-44 is the score. The halftime score was 39-29. Wingate has not been able to get any closer than 9 points, or rather 8 points, in these first few minutes after halftime. It's that late 6-0 burst by Lincoln Memorial with Kendall Taylor off the floor. It was a 4-point game. They score the final 6 points in the final 65 seconds to make it a double-digit game, and they've had Wingate at arm's length throughout most of the beginning part of this second half. One official each has gone over to each coach to explain what they have seen on the play. The other is at the scorer's table.
Yeah, still no look into our direction. That would certainly be appreciated, right?
Well, Garcia Arroyo is at the free throw line. There's nobody there.
So I would almost assume that they called it that.
They're going to go dead ball technical on Osmar Garcia Arroyo, so it goes down as a personal foul as well, so that's his third.
So an off-ball technical, and
so that's why nobody's at the free throw line, because Wingate's going to shoot free throws after this and then have the possession.
My only guess of why that call stood on Pack is that he did not give him the necessary space to land.
So now we'll go to the other end after Garcia Arroyo makes 2 free throws. And Taylor will shoot 2 free throws, and he makes the first one, 55-45. Taylor with 17 points in the game, and he's in and out on the second free throw, so he's missed 2 free throws now. In this contest, he's 5 of 7. 10-point game, Bulldogs ball after the dead ball technical. 1-8 seed on this men's side, the first of 4 South Atlantic Conference quarterfinals on this Tuesday afternoon. The Bulldogs turn it over for a 10th time. Transition for the Rail Splitters. Smith to the basket. Left-hand layup from the right side. It's too strong. Rebound Dogs. Urbeck into the front court for Kendall Taylor. Taylor against Osmar Garcia Arroyo. Turns it over. Trying to go inside. LMU the other way. Freeman in transition with the right hand. Rail Splitters by 12 on Elijah Freeman's third basket. Pack, the answer is left short. Rebound Enos. He can't dribble away from traffic. Hall takes it away and then loses it out of bounds.
What a funky sequence there.
Turnovers left and right. How about this play from Enos from the ground to deflect that ball off Aaron Hall here at the end? So Enos loses possession. Look at this defense. Gets in there with his left hand to knock it away from Hall and bang it off his knee.
That's just such a heads-up play. That's something you don't typically see at the college level, but when you have that wingspan and you can just poke that ball right out, it will work out.
That's why he's the conference's Defensive Player of the Year, and that right there is why he's the Conference Player of the Year. Wes Enos buries another triple. That's his 4th. He's got 21, and Lincoln Memorial leads by 15. Whistles and a foul with 12 minutes and 6 seconds to play in the second half. Away from the ball, it's on Thomas Allard. That'll be his 3rd. So 4 rail splitters with 3 fouls. Smith, Freeman, Garcia, Arroyo, and Allard. Bulldogs need some answers on the offensive end. Trailing by 15 as we get another look at the foul on Allard. Holding on to Corbin Pack around that screen. 15th foul by the rail splitters, just 1 by Wingate here in this second half after Brian Good's team fouled 14 times in the first 20 minutes. Jordan Miller has 4 points, gives off to Taylor for a 3, back iron miss, rebound Garcia Arroyo.
Yeah, tried to draw the foul there, just didn't quite work out.
Smith, head of the key, around Garcia Arroyo's screen to the corner, catch 3 for Freeman, too strong, rebound, collected by Pack. Bulldogs need a scoring run. Miller has it at the right wing against Allard, pulls up from the right elbow, shot is barely going to graze the iron, and Garcia Arroyo with extended time with his 3rd board. Quickly ahead, and Smith turns it over. Timeout here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Lincoln Memorial has extended a halftime lead of 10 out to 15 thanks to Wes Enos, who is up to a game-high 21, the Conference Player of the Year, leading the regular season champs here in the quarterfinal round. Back to Rock Hill after this on Flow Sports. It's our first South Atlantic Conference men's quarterfinal. Lincoln Memorial has the last 9 of the last 12 points and extends the lead to 15. Tyler with 11:29 to play in the second half.
Yeah, LMU's been doing such a nice job of making halftime adjustments. They've been passing the rock a lot more, and it's worked out. Wingate hasn't been fouling as much either, so it seems like both teams have had successful halftime adjustments, just LMU executing on actually scoring the ball a little bit more.
Bulldogs ball down 15. This is Lincoln Memorial's largest lead. This is Derek Bradley out front to the corner for Miller. Miller driving middle against Freeman, has to pull it back out to the head of the key with 9. Bounce it, right elbow. This is Taylor facing up, and he got fouled by Enos. Wes Enos called for his 2nd foul, and that's LMU's 6th team foul. So the rest of the way, free throws for Wingate on any foul. That's not a player control foul, as Enos matching up with the conference's leading scorer. That's a good matchup right there. The Defensive Player of the Year against the best score by average.
I mean, what a fun matchup to watch right into kick off our tournament. Just a great opener.
11 minutes to play. To the baseline, and Taylor called for an offensive foul, and that's number 4 on Kendall Taylor. The conference's leading scorer by average called for a foul away from the ball, battling with Enos. There it is, some contact, and maybe Enos did some good embellishment to create some contact and maybe seem it was a little more than what it was, but enough for Taylor's 4th foul. LMU can extend its lead. Garcia Arroyo open inside, the pump fake, but he can't finish. Rebound Aaron Hall. Miller brings it down the floor. He's got 4 points on 1 of 6 shooting. Drive middle by Bradley through contact, forces it in, and one. Big take from Derek Bradley to snap a 2.5-minute scoring drought for Wingate. He finishes through the contact of Wes Enos, and he'll go to the line for a 3-point play. Bradley up to 4 points as Enos joins a whole host of rail splitters with 4 fouls.
Yeah, and you talk about LMU now in a bit of foul trouble early in the second half. Already LMU with 7 fouls to the bonus the rest of the way through for Wingate, which could now try to make up for what is now a 12-point deficit.
3-point play for Derek Bradley. He's got 5. That's right at his season average. Walters off to Enos. He'll pull a left wing triple. Boom. Wes Enos with his 5th triple. He's got 24. Back to a 15-point rail splitter advantage as Pack pulls up for a deep 2 and knocks it down. That's 13 for Corbin Pack, and he averages 10.5 per game. 63-50. Wingate is shooting 43%, but has not been able to slow down this potent LMU offense in the second half. They're shooting 53%. Good look for Freeman. He'll turn it down, drive middle on Pack, throws it up. No, but a foul. Free throws for the freshman of the year, Elijah Freeman, after the foul by Corbin Pack of Wingate. Second on him, second of the half.
Yeah, well, Elijah Freeman, freshman going to the line for his first time today, a 78% shooter in his freshman year with the rail splitters at the line. One thing that will be fun to watch if Lincoln Memorial holds off Wingate and advances in this tournament is Wes Enos, now at 972 career points, well on his way to marking 1,000 at the conference tournament.
Yep, enters the tournament needing 52 to reach 1,000 in his first 2 seasons of college basketball. A pair of makes at the line for Elijah Freeman, and it's back to a 15-point advantage. Wingate's been within 8 in the second half, but no closer. Here comes the double on Kendall Taylor. He spins away from one, bounces it to Hall. Skip it, Bradley. Spinning against Enos, forces it up and finishes off glass. That's 7 for Derek Bradley, 5 after halftime. .13-point game. Enos has a game-high 24 with the basketball. Off to Allard and bounce for Walters, who has 13 points and 9 rebounds. Freeman going to work. Up and over Pack, no. Tries to follow it, can't finish. Rebound Taylor. Bulldogs bring it the other way. Wingate, despite trailing by 13, has made its last 3 shots from the field. Hall backing down Allard. Right-hand jump hook in the lane is short. Rebound bats around, and it's off LMU's hands underneath. It'll stay with the Bulldogs with 8:44 to play.
I love the aggressiveness recently from Wingate. You talk about making their last 3 shots. Kendall Taylor with an incredible defensive rebound on the other end. Even though they couldn't quite get the bucket there, get that second chance opportunity. We'll see what they can do with it.
Miller dribbling against Freeman, gives to Kendall Taylor. 10 to shoot. Taylor off to Jordan Miller in the left corner. Jab step from Miller. He'll pull back for a corner triple. He left it short, follows his miss. Trying to pass it out front, but the pass deflected and stolen. 14 Wingate turnovers. That LMU has scored 22 points after in this game. Lead is 13 as Ennis begins the offense. Nice back cut. Enos to the cup, had it poked away and stolen. Turnovers back and forth. Pack bounces. Hall loses it. Another turnover. Transition the other way. Freeman against Taylor. Drives and can't finish. The second follow. No. A third time's the charm for Elijah Freeman. LMU by 15 again.
Great ball control by Freeman, not worrying about the defenders around him, just focusing on getting his own rebound and the putback attempt.
Taylor, bad pass and a turnover. Transition, Freeman, blocked from behind by Bradley. Nice defensive play by Derek Bradley to save a dunk. But Lincoln Memorial leads by 15 points. 4 different rail splitters are in double figures, led by Wes Enos is 24. And Lincoln Memorial leads the 8th seed Wingate 67-52 here at the South Atlantic Conference Basketball Tournament. We're back for more from the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center after this on Flow Sports.
At Anderson University, we are on a journey, one that seeks to find the purpose for which God created each and every one of us. So we search, we grow, we dive in, and with a close-knit community, small class sizes, accomplished and supportive faculty, and a spirit that believes that together we can accomplish big things. The person we are striving to become doesn't feel so far away. So we push, we dream, we dig deeper, until our journey finds us as teachers, artists, writers, athletes, engineers, nurses, and friends. And while we're at it, we just might change the world. Anderson University, knowledge for your journey.
The regular season champions are in front of the 8th seed Wingate 67-52 with 7 minutes and 33 seconds to play in this second half. Andrew Rogers, Tyler Katz, glad to have you on hand for the first of 4 games today and the first of 14 all week long here at the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center. Second quarterfinal following this one on the men's side will be Lenore Ryan, the number 2 seed, against the 7 seed Anderson. At the timeout, Allard got a good look at a 3, but doesn't get it to drop. Transition, Euro step. Taylor finishing with a right hand. Too strong, though. Rebound, Enos and LMU. They want to go quickly the other way. Allard bounces. Enos steps back. Wing triple. Not this time. Rebound, Taylor. Backside rebound.
I understand Wingate needs to go fast to make up a 15-point deficit against the regular season champs as a charge is called, but it creates mistakes like that. You talk about maybe the last 4 or 5 Wingate possessions. Going fast has either caused a foul or a turnover. Wingate, yes, they need to go fast to make up the deficit against a really good rail splitter team, but they at least need to slow down to stop making these mental errors.
You mentioned the turnovers. 4 turnovers over the last 2+ minutes for Brian Good's team. Freeman to the basket, hangs and is fouled. Taylor was in the area. If it's on him, it's his 5th. But they'll call it on Corbin Pack, and that'll be his 3rd and Wingate's 5th here in the second half. Free throws for the freshman of the year, Elijah Freeman, who did not play most of the first half with 3 fouls, but here in the second half has scored 8 of his 10 points and makes the first free throw. This guy has it all, Tyler. He can do it in all 3 levels.
Perfect from the stripe today, Elijah Freeman. I mean, I mentioned it in the open. Probably getting a few calls from elsewhere, but he fits right into this Jeremiah Samarippis program and a team that is looking like the heavy favorite to make a run in this tournament.
69-52. Left corner, this is Bradley. He'll drive and turn it over. Steal for LMU, numbers the other way. Walters, free throw line, corner, Allard. Freeman will pull it out. Good transition defense by the Bulldogs. Surprisingly enough, LMU still has its largest lead despite missing 6 of their last 7 shots from the field. Enos has the mismatch against Hall. Behind the back dribble, nice cut. Walters dribbles, now picks it up and finds Jordan with 6. Jordan, 1 dribble pull-up, got it. Connor Jordan's second field goal, he's got 6. It's a 19-point game.
Man, everyone can score for this Rail Splitters team.
Pack to Kendall Taylor. He'll drive against Walters and can't finish, but he got fouled underneath. An aggressive take by Taylor as Walters commits just his first foul in 26 minutes on the floor. It's the 8th team foul.
Well, Andrew, in the first half we were talking about the absence of Kendall Taylor, put on the bench with a bit of foul trouble. He's going to the line now. He's played every second of this second half. Yet LMU seems even more dominant, currently outscoring the Bulldogs by 9 in the second half.
Taylor leaves the first free throw short. He does have 18 points, but it's been a tough 18. 5 of 8 shooting from the free throw line, 6 of 12 from the field, but he's turned it over 6 times, facing a lot of double teams throughout this contest as he makes the second one.
Yeah, well, for Wingate, not a lot of the support staff has been there. Jordan Miller, 1 of 7 from the field. Derek Bradley, 3 of 8. Just rough shooting days for those two.
Enos front court for Freeman, the trailer Jordan to set the offense. Final 6 minutes of this first of 4 quarterfinals on day 1 of the conference tournaments. 2 men's quarterfinals to start the day, 2 women's quarterfinals to end the day. Enos, a jab step with 6, will shoot over Miller. It's all the glass, and the rebound, Bradley. Bradley driving right, going baseline, and he got fouled underneath. Jeremiah Samarippis is begging for a timeout, and he'll get one with 5:30 to play in this second half. Rail Splitters defensively have been terrific. Wingate's not made a basket in 4 minutes and has turned it over 5 times during the stretch, and LMU has an 18-point lead with 5:30 to play in this quarterfinal matchup. We're back for more from Rock Hill after this.
Our roots run deep here at Catawba College. So do our ambitions. Good change starts here, with us. And it goes far. Just you watch. Catawba College, good goes far.
The regular season champions, Lincoln Memorial, in front of the 8-seed Wingate, 71-53, thanks to quality shooting from the Bulldogs. They've made 8 threes, led by Wes Enos's 5, and they've got 28 points off of 18 Wingate turnovers.
You have to remember, Andrew, this is an LMU team on a warpath. Overtime loss by 1 last season in the SAC title game to Catawba. Samarippis knows that pain of coming so close and not quite getting there. You don't want to face LMU, despite them being the regular season champions. Disregarding that point, this is a team you don't want to see in Rock Hill, just based on what happened last season.
Certainly a motivated group with plenty of talent up and down the roster that has seen the floor today. Bradley makes both. 16-point game. The Bulldogs showing some full court pressure, full court man-to-man out of the timeout. Got to create some havoc and turn the Rail Splitters over. Unable to do it as Allard works it into the front court for Lincoln Memorial. This is a rematch of the 2016 South Atlantic Conference Championship game, a game won by Lincoln Memorial 95-83 that year. Jordan to the baseline. Circles around, nothing there with 8. Bounces, Walters with 5. Walters going to get into his bag, driving in, left hand off glass. Don't have to go deep into the bag if you're Jordan Walters. His 4th field goal, he's got 15. Pick and pop, Taylor lost it on the way up. Miller goes back to get it, and it's a backcourt violation with Taylor losing it, and the ball having to go back into the backcourt to be touched by Miller. Turnover.
Watching it live, it almost looked like Walters just flicked it out of his hands and caused it to go into the backcourt. I have no clue what force drove that one that far back. He just lost it on the way up, going up for the shot. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
4.5 to play, 18-point game. Lincoln Memorial has put this game away with defense and nearly some more fine offense as Jordan is fouled after going backdoor and trying to finish with the right side, or with the right-hand layup from the right side.
It's going to lead to free throw attempts 25 and 26 for LMU today. LMU nearly leading by 20 points. It's been a foul-heavy day for Wingate. LMU, although they've been kept afloat by their play, they've certainly been helped out by the Wingate fouls getting them to the stripe.
2 quality free throw shooting teams. It's been Lincoln Memorial's 88% shooting that has shined over Wingate's average of 80%. Bulldogs just 60% in this game, 12 of 20. 20-point game. in favor of the regular season champs as Kendall Taylor gets fouled by Connor Jordan around his screen, and that'll be free throws for the Bulldogs. Taylor as Jordan commits his second.
Already 10 team fouls. We mentioned that in the first half it was a pretty foul-heavy half for Wingate. Now it's a pretty foul-heavy half for Lincoln Memorial, a team who was already in a bit of foul trouble. Now there are 5 different players for Jeremiah Samarippis' Rail Splitters with 3 fouls.
Taylor makes the first free throw. Certainly a good thing for the Rail Splitters that this game is at the margin that it is at currently. If it was a single-digit game, certainly the foul trouble definitely comes to more of a concern, but knowing you've got a comfortable lead at this point, have to feel pretty good, but still a lot of basketball to play. Wingate's season on the line here, and so they're going to give it all they have down the stretch, trailing by 18. Enos up the floor, lobs front court. Freeman driving to the basket, Euro step with a right hand, left it short, follows it up, tries again, and scores this time. 14 for Elijah Freeman, 12 after halftime, and Lincoln Memorial's back up 20. Good look for Miller from the left wing for 3, and it's left short. Rebound tapped around. Hall's got it, and he finishes for the second time.
Andrew, you also have to remember this is a really young Wingate squad. So now there's a bit of a strategy switch up with the full court press. But the only senior on the roster for Wingate is their biggest player, Kendall Taylor, but still a really young team that will just get more experience from here on out.
Yep, Taylor the only senior. You've got a lot of young talent up and down the Wingate roster for Brian Good to deal with here in the future. Clock down to 5. Allard spinning, pump faking, shoveling, nice cut. Jordan, the up and under. Connor Jordan has 10 points. It's back to 20. Bradley spinning, throwing one up. Nice finish in the lane for Derek Bradley. He's got 11 points off the bench, 9 after halftime. It's been a bright spot off Brian Good's bench. It's the 6th time this year he's scored in double digits. 3 to play. It's 79-61, Lincoln Memorial. Walters underneath. Jordan fades away. Not this time. Rebound Miller backside. Taylor's got 21 points in 32 minutes. Going to work against Walters. Spins. Here comes a second defender. He'll shoot over Walters. Got partially blocked. Ball ping-pongs around, and Enos has got it, and he'll finish with the left hand on the left side. 26 for Enos. It's a 20-point game.
Yeah, Taylor was just trying to draw the foul there. Bit of embellishment. Didn't quite get the call, and Enos took advantage as the player of the year, took it the other way for 2.
Well, 2-3 zone look as Bradley launches and buries a 3. Derek Bradley hit 18 threes in the regular season. That's his first here. And it brings us to a timeout. 81-64, the regular season champs are closing in on another conference tournament win, trying to get back to the semifinals, and they're in control over the 8-seeded Wingate Bulldogs. 81-64, 2:08 to play. It's all LMU here in the Rock Hill Sports and Event Center.
It is a fun pursuit of wisdom. A wisdom to find joy in meaningful work.
Andrew Rogers and Tyler Katz back here in Rock Hill, South Carolina, as we begin a week-long stretch of conference tournament basketball here on Flow Sports with this first quarterfinal matchup that is featured the regular season champions, Lincoln Memorial, and the 8-seed Wingate Bulldogs. And the difference has been LMU's offense in this game and the defense that has scored 30 points off 19 Wingate turnovers. Full court pressure from Wingate, but LMU breaks it with ease. Trying to navigate some double teams. Freeman in the corner, lobs it back out front for Enos. Content with running some clock here. Clock is Lincoln Memorial's friend, and on their side down the stretch. Walters with 7 gives to Allard. Allard will go to work against Hall. He steps back for a triple. Left it short. Rebound, Corbin Pack.
Now Wingate needs to go fast, but not fast enough to make their 20th turnover of the game.
Pack out front gives to Jaden, or rather Derek Bradley. Tried to pass it out to Miller, but Freeman took it away. He'll pull it out. Wise work from the freshman there. He probably had a layup in transition, but he pulls it out knowing that clock is on his side. Final 70 seconds in this first quarterfinal game in Rock Hill. Lenore, Ryan, and Anderson wait next in the 2-7 meeting as Walters feeds Freeman to put the finishing touches on a quarterfinal win.
And what a win for Lincoln Memorial. Road doesn't get any easier on the semifinals. Big three ball from Bradley. But either UVA-Y is a team who also defeated Lincoln Memorial, or arch rival Carson-Newman await the Rail Splitters next.
Rail Splitters break the pressure, and Walters flushes one home. What a day for Jordan Walters. All 5 starters for the Rail Splitters scoring double digits. Walters with 17 now. Pack around his screen for a deep 2 from the corners, too strong. Halls follows, not there, but a foul on Jordan Walters with 32 seconds to play.
LMU foul number 12, Jordan Walters.
85-67 free throws for Aaron Hall. The balance behind the conference's player of the year is superb in the opener of the conference tournament. 26 from Enos, 17 from Walters, 16 from Freeman, and Allard and Jordan have 10.
And I don't want the scoreboard to confuse anybody because this was an incredible effort by Wingate. Led the ball game as Kendall Taylor, I mean, what a moment this is. Gets the ovation in his final game in a Wingate uniform, and he'll hug the entire bench. And it's those moments like that that bring a tear to your eye.
Of course, and you have to appreciate as well Lincoln Memorial's coaching staffs and players clapping along as well, knowing what that kid right there has accomplished this season. Go down as the 4th best scoring average in the conference's history in a regular season as Jordan dribbling around. There's about a 1.5 second difference between the clocks, and so Lincoln Memorial will either score here or try to score or take a turnover here in the final seconds.
Well, the effort shouldn't go the way of Wingate. Should be respected for this matchup as there'll be a shot clock violation, and we'll have to have one more inbound, but Wingate played well. They were in contention through this one. Just some foul trouble got in the way, and that margin kept getting larger and larger. But I don't want the score to confuse people because this is a great Wingate team who had an incredible effort against the Splitters today.
Final score in our first South Atlantic Conference quarterfinal matchup. It's Lincoln Memorial, the regular season champions, taking down Wingate 85-67 here at the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center. Tyler, it was Wes Enos from the start. He scores 26, and 4 other guys pitch home double digits in scoring. A late first half run gets this margin to double digits, and LMU pulls away throughout the remainder of this second half to collect an 85-67 win in the first of 2 quarterfinals. On the men's side, we'll have 2 women's quarterfinals as well. Tyler, when you break down this game and think about it, what stands out the most about what you saw from the regular season champions today?
Wes Enos is legit Defensive Player of the Year. We saw that on display. Player of the Year overall. We saw that on display as well. He is going to be a living nightmare for whoever has to face him in the next round, whether that's UVA-Wise or Carson-Newman. And then if they're able to advance to the championship, it's a really tough team to face. LMU showing why they were the regular season champs today. Excellent effort, though, from Kendall Taylor and the Wingate Bulldogs. Brian got a really especially tough task having to face off against that foul trouble today.
Lincoln Memorial wins by 18 points. We'll send it down to our 3rd member of our team, Adam Cavalier, standing by with the coach of the Rail Splitters.
All right, thank you very much. Andrew Rogers, Adam Cavalier, alongside Lincoln Memorial head coach Jeremiah Samarippis. Jerm, all 5 starters in double figures. Uncharacteristically, you forced some turnovers today. Not really something that Lincoln Memorial is known for, but you forced 19, break down the effort to collect a double-digit win and move on to the semifinals.
Yeah, we did a little bit better job taking care of the basketball in the second half, which I didn't think we did a great job in the first half, and yeah, they turned it over. And the possession battle is so valuable. That offensive rebounds, I think we had 12 offensive rebounds. They had 7. And then we made free throws. They shoot 50%. I think we only missed 3 or 4. So those little small details led us to victory today. And we were better in the second half, but you want to get better as the tournament goes on. So hopefully this is our worst game.
I would say the recipe for winning on the road is similar to winning in the tournament. Rebounding, free throws. If I were to point to 2 things, that's probably the reason why you win this game. How did you adjust or on to those 2 facets?
Well, we calmed down a little bit. I didn't think they forced us to turn the ball over in the first half. We dribble it off our foot, we lose it, we don't catch it. So we tried to eliminate some of those self-inflicted wounds, and we did a better job. Some of it was maybe nerves. First game we got some young guys, but definitely the second half, after getting a feel, they did a much better job.
Break down the next 48 hours. You don't know who you play yet. It's either Carson-Newman or UVA-Wise in tomorrow's noon game, the 4-5 matchup. How do you spend the next 48 hours?
Well, resting. When you potentially have a chance to play 3 games in 4 days, you got to make sure your players get as much treatment and rest as possible. We'll watch a little bit of this next game. We'll get post-game meal, which is ideal. These guys are starving after a morning breakfast deal that we had for pregame meal, and start working on both. We've already started a little bit on Wise and Carson-Newman. We're also going to support our girls team tonight as they play. So hopefully, I know it's first the Eagles, but hopefully we come out and play well. So that's our next 48 hours.
All right, Jeremy, Tom, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
All right, Andrew, back upstairs.
Thanks, Adam. That is Lincoln Memorial head coach Jeremiah Samarippis as his team collects a quarterfinal win, 85-67 behind Wes Enos's game-high 26 points. The player of the year makes 9 of his 19 field goals to help a Rail Splitters squad shoot 44% from the field. You heard in the interview, Tyler, these 2 areas, rebounds and turnovers, points off turnovers, were 2 critical areas that Lincoln Memorial did well in this game.
Yeah, I want to direct the viewer to the bottom of your screen there. Points off turnovers, nearly a 20-point separation between the 2. Points off turnovers, reset those both to 0. This is a much, much closer game, and actually Wingate gets the edge. So turnovers were just the Bulldog killer today. Lincoln Memorial, as Adam mentioned down as the 3rd member of our crew in that interview there, it's a tough task. UVA-Wise defeated LMU in the regular season. Carson-Newman gave them a couple of good games, even though LMU swept Carson-Newman. So it's a tough task on the semifinal day on Thursday today, coming up later this week for LMU. But Jeremiah Samarippis' squad seems like a really tough one to beat.
All right, Tyler, this is my favorite part of our production today. We get to update the bracket. Lincoln Memorial moves on, as you can see on your screen. They'll wait and play on Thursday at noon. They'll wait tomorrow's quarterfinal winner at noon between 4-seeded UVA-Wise and the 5-seed Carson-Newman. And our next contest right below that matchup at 2:30, it's Lenore-Ryan and Anderson, the 2-seeded Bears, led by the Coach of the Year, Brent Owen, taking on the 7-seeded Anderson Trojans. Lincoln Memorial wins it in our first quarterfinal matchup, 85-67. Running cameras throughout this week for our entire crew. Kennedy Goins, Itzy Ayala, Max Bryant, and Molly Bukowitz, all our camera operators throughout this week. And for this game as well, Jay West, our replay operator. Ian Johnson's our director. Adam Cavalier running the sidelines, roaming the sidelines, and running graphics. And for my partner, Tyler Katz, here on Flow Sports, I'm Andrew Rogers. We thank you for joining us for the first of 4 South Atlantic Conference quarterfinals on this Tuesday afternoon. The regular season champions, Lincoln Memorial, defeats the 8-seed Wingate 85-67. We'll talk to you in a half hour as the 2-seed Lenore-Ryan takes on the 7-seeded Anderson Trojans. Until then, so long.